Yeah, I wanted to ask about. So you're the company. We were talking about tax efficient ways of putting money in certain places. What does that look like when a company pays into a pension for you, the director? Is that something that can be done easily?
Yes.
And what are the pros of that or the cons of that?
Well, the benefit is that you get the pension rebate.
Mm-hmm.
So currently you're allowed to put up to 60,000 per year into the pension pot, and the pension scheme will claim back initially the 20% automatically, and then if you do self-assessment, you'll be able to claim the additional taxes if you're already a higher taxpayer. Yeah? You're on a 40% bracket, for example, you'll get the additional 20% claim through your self-assessment. So that builds your pension pot in the long term. And yes, up to 60,000 will be an allowable expense on your corporation tax return. So it will be a business expense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something that is advisable really for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were talking about putting money in a place where it's more tax efficient, saving for later. Do you see a lot of businesses doing that though? Is that because they don't know?
We don't see a lot of them doing. Very few do it. Yeah.
It's
I
lack
think
of
it's
knowledge.
lack of knowledge.
Because we don't.
So most people do not want to say everything when they are, like I was telling you to say, they come to us thinking that I will give you as less information as possible. I just want you to do my accounts. That's what I want.
That's all we know.
Exactly.
Because the HR.
I've heard that you can put your money in a SIP,
Yes.
then use that money to buy commercial properties,
Yes.
Yes.
and put it back again, and you don't pay tax.
Yes.
But we need to find a company that can manage the SIP.
What is SIP?
The pension administrators for SIP.
What is it?
SIP is a self-invested
Invested
pension
pen-
plan. So instead of putting it in a Fidelity, that Fidelity is managing it for you, you set up a SIP and you manage that SIP yourself. So you decide where that money is invested.
And how much?
And that's what Esther is saying, that you can then decide, I can use that money to buy a commercial property because I'm making the investment
For
decision.
my future.
Yeah.
Okay. What about?
What are the disadvantages of that? So let's say the company gets into trouble at some point.
A SIP is a separate entity.
Totally different.
It's a separate, administered separately. Yeah? So it's separate from your limited company. It exists separately. It will be governed by the same pension law. So as in the money in there is only accessible to you at 67. But one of the benefits is you make the decision. So for example, if you're investing with Fidelity or Mutual, they are doing the decision making about which assets they are. Now, maybe I can definitely do commercial property and make a higher return than my pension scheme is doing. That is one of the benefits of definitely doing a SIP. And also if you have a good pot of money, so the people who are being able to put in the 60,000 every year, over 2-3 years, it's a good lump sum amount of money that you can say, I can use that money and buy a commercial property. Your business is allowed to use that is allowed to rent that commercial property, and so you're almost controlling that growth in wealth yourself. Yeah.
And creating an ecosystem that works for you.
That's really
Because that's the idea. The ecosystem within money movement is working for you and for your future plans.
The only thing you can't be taking money from that SIP, like what you can do from a limited company, you can't pay yourself until the age
67.
Yeah.
So any income that's received from the commercial property, it also stays in the SIP?
Yes. Yeah. Because that's income for the pension.
So that's a
pension
very clever way of doing it then,
Yeah.
isn't it?
and planning for your future. Yeah.
Of not paying debt.
Well, what about a health? Can the company pay for a private health?
For the
insurance?
employees, yes.
No, for me, the
Yeah,
director.
you're an
You are
employee.
an employee, yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the purposes of that, yes, it can.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes directors forget you are not just a director, but
Yeah.
you can also be an
Employee of the
employee
car. Yeah.
and might as well utilize those benefits and advantages that come with that position, Yeah.
Eye-opening.
I think the only one other area we hadn't mentioned earlier was, well, actually, I had 2 points. Companies House has now gone into the process of verifying everyone's identity,
Yeah.
and they need everyone to do it with their passport. most people can do it with a smartphone and your passport, and should be able to do it. But some people have challenges doing it, so we can definitely help if you're still having a challenge. And they started in October, and they are requiring it as the year ends come. So I suppose we have 1 year almost transition until everyone is verified, and it will be a requirement going forward. So in the past, when you set up a company, they didn't verify the documents, so they're just putting in the process now to verify everyone who is on company's house.